Yo, what's good, everybody, man? Let's talk about a little bit of boxing. We got a couple fights this weekend. Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz. Don't miss out on that. But Haney and Tank, they've been going back and forth on Twitter. Everybody got the Twitter fingers. And Haney, he's really going after Tank hard, man. He's snapping on Steven Espinoza. He's back and forth with him. And Tank. Like he writing long paragraphs. He trying to get that fight real bad. And it surprised me that Steven Espinoza even would engage with Haney like this. He even got um, a response where he said, "Have your handlers contact him." So he sounds like he's willing to cross the street and possibly do a deal for a Devin Haney fight for Tank Davis. And you know what? I know this is just Twitter, but Steven Espinoza, I heard behind the scenes, man, he's been really trying to push for a couple fights that us fans really want. You know, they say that he really want that Charlo Benavidez, and he wants Tank versus Ryan Garcia. So this is not like out of the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like Haney, he's under that deal. I think that's gonna be the most important thing. I think he got two more fights, Kambosis rematch and possibly a Lomachenko fight, and then he won't be under contract with Top Rank. But you know what I'm saying? After Kambosis, Haney could try to push for the Tank fight, try to get with Bob Arum, try to get his mind right. He don't definitely have to give Loma a shot. And Bob Arum, he might have to pay Haney a lot of money to fight Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that he's undisputed, that ups his pay grade and all that. And Bob Arum, he always complaining about how he losing money on certain black fighters like Bud and all that. Maybe if he had to give Haney a big payday, maybe that he'd rather take the risk of him fighting Tank Davis because that fight would generate way more money than him and Lomachenko. He would have to split that money with Mayweather, but even that percentage maybe would be bigger than what he'd make off of both of those guys, both of Haney and Loma. You never know. I mean, because behind the scenes, you never know what these guys are getting, you know. But that's just a thought. I know most likely Loma would be next if Loma really wants it, because Loma had the opportunity to get this fight instead of Cambosis, but Loma he's fighting Jermaine Ortiz, who just beat Jamel Herring a few months ago. So he ain't want to jump straight into the Devin Haney fight. So it looked like he gonna get first dibs. It seems like in order for Tank to get the fight, he would have to push for the fight himself. And I don't really see that happening. I mean, the Haney should try to call Mayweather after the fight. Of course, I mean that's a low chance of happening, but it's worth a try, you know. But Tank Davis, he comes back December, probably probably like December 5th or something like that. I remember he fought on like a date like that in December. So his opponent live would it be Isaac Cruz talking like he might get the fight. He really wants that rematch. And there's rumors out there that Isaac Cruz might be next. And I would be very disappointed if it's that fight because I feel like Tank outboxed him with one hand. Like people seeing Cruz coming forward and super aggressive all fight, but it wasn't effective aggression. And like people just think that Cruz was dominating Tank or whatever. Maybe because Tank he fell or whatever a couple times, and people just that image. People just think that Cruz just dominated him and got robbed, but I wasn't really too impressed with Cruz. Cruz he landed some body shots on Tank, but he just could not hit Tank in the head for nothing in the world. And Tank was jabbing him and turning him with just one hand and showed good ring generalship. And I was really impressed with Tank in that fight. I really don't want to see that fight with Tank with two hands. What we supposed to get the knockout we were supposed to get in that fight? I mean, I really don't even care. Tank that had all the tune-ups and all. He had fought people that showed different looks. It's time for big fights or nothing for Tank. Tank, about 27, 28. That's prime form right there. You're supposed to be after the big dogs. I mean, I don't consider Ryan Garcia a big dog like that, but I definitely would take that over the Isaac Cruz fight. We can't get the Devin Haney fight right now. That's always the first choice for that I want Tank to fight. But Haney's tied up with Cambosis in about a month and a half, so ain't no way he can turn around and fight him in December. So I take the Ryan Garcia fight, and they say that's still possible, and I still got a little hope for that fight because shit, De La Hoya, he seems like he don't even care anymore. He seems like he's not protecting these guys anymore. He's putting Gilberto Ramirez. He's not chasing the 50-0. He's not saving him protecting that record anymore. He's putting him in there with Bivol. It seemed like De La Hoya not protecting nobody no more. You know, they say that your boy going broke. He need to get them dollars up, and that's the best way to do it. Putting these guys into big fights. He got Zerto Bivol. He want to do Ryan Garcia, Tank, Virgil. He probably want Virgil to get in there with Spence, if anybody, because he probably still wouldn't put him in there with Jerron Ennis. Or maybe probably wouldn't even put him in there with Bud either. Because he's like number one in a lot of sanctioning bodies. If Spence and Crawford fight, he'll be right there to challenge for, pretty much any title if they drop it. But it is what it is, though, man. Haney Tank, they got the Twitter fingers or whatever. It's not really going to lead to nothing, but I like to see the energy. It makes me feel that the fight will happen one day within the next 4 years. And that's fucking sad to say because Tank is a regular champion that can press that button and make Devin Haney fight him at any chance that he wants.